What's up, guys? It's Random KC, and I'm finally back from the dead, sorta. More like I'm just peeking my head out of the grave to go right back down. Maybe. We'll see. But today, I'm here to rank every Easter egg in Call of Duty Zombies. However, this list will only be Treyarch, as I feel I do not have enough knowledge or experience of the other Easter eggs to rank them fairly. I'll be ranking these on how enjoyable they are, the simplicity or complexity, and the overall quality of the egg. If you're new here, make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There are 26 maps on this list, so let me stop rambling and let's begin. Coming in at our number 26 spot is actually going to be Classified. Now, I'm not referring to the Winter's Howl Easter egg or mini side Easter egg, whatever you want to call that. I'm talking about getting the cutscene on round 150. Why the hell would anyone want to do this? Who came up with this? I've never done it. I don't want to do it. It takes about, I think, 6 to 8 hours, give or take. And that's, I believe, using the shield strat, where you literally sit in a corner with a shield the entire game. I've never seen anything more pointless just for a cutscene that I could watch on YouTube. There's no satisfaction for me in completing this Easter egg. You sit there for God knows how long, and that's it. You did it. Hooray. I just don't see the point behind it. Coming in at number 25 is going to be Die Rise. Now, first problem with this, 4-player Easter egg, that might be a common thing, but it's not too much of a big deal. This Easter egg, however, it is. Because you have to match up all the symbols, you gotta fucking, for some reason, spray at the Dragon Balls, yeah, haha, funny. And it's just, I mean, I think the world record is, what, like 3 minutes or something? It's absurd. Like, I don't actually understand why anyone wants to do this Easter egg. It's not enjoyable, it's just a pain in the ass and really just not that fun. Coming in at number 24 is going to be the good old Transit. Now, all this Easter egg really is turning on the power, turning off the power, and then luring the Avogadro over to the pylon just to kill him, and then use a turbine or shit. It doesn't make any sense. That's pretty much the Easter egg. I don't know what else much to say. Transit itself is not very enjoyable. This Easter egg is not very enjoyable. Coming in at number 23 is Blood of the Dead. The shield Easter egg, as I like to call it, where you stare through a shield your entire game. And if you don't have a shield or any shield charges from collecting souls, you basically can't do anything. Even getting the Pack-a-Punch needs a shield. I just don't understand why. I mean, they tried to replace it with the Afterlife mechanic, and it failed miserably. And when you implement an Easter egg with that mechanic, it doesn't work. On top of that, the Morse code step is absolutely horrible, especially on solo, where you have to sit in a fucking tight cornered room and pray to God that you do not kill the last and only zombie you have, so you don't have to wait an entire another round to do it. On top of that, the weird symbol steps that starts off in the first power room is an absolute nightmare. I don't know who came up with that, where you have to translate symbol to another symbol to another symbol, and then do Simon Says with it on a bunch of lights. It's absolutely horrible. I hate this Easter egg. And the boss fight itself is also pretty underwhelming. Narratively wise, it is really good, but unfortunately, narrative doesn't always make a good Easter egg. Next up is number 22, which is going to be Alpha Omega. Now, I really don't like this map either. I don't like a lot of these bottom maps, except for Classified maybe. But the problem with the Alpha Omega Easter egg is, first off, we finally see the Avogadro again. We think, oh my god, it's going to be an amazing boss fight. You don't even really touch him until you just push him back into the APD or whatever it's called. Another problem with this Easter egg is Rushmore's a bitch who has no trust whatsoever, where you are constantly putting in codes, we are constantly doing a lot of random side tasking that has nothing to do with the actual Easter egg. Like the red Nova Crawler, that's just for his own benefit. It actually has nothing to do with the Easter egg. So it's just really a pointless Easter egg, and it really was underwhelming. Coming in at number 21 is going to be Firebase Z. Now, I actually do like a lot of the Cold War Easter eggs, but this one ain't it. I love playing Pokemon with the Mimics, especially when the step was broken, when I was going for my first attempt, I actually had to restart my game about 3 times just because it took me 10 rounds of trying to get the correct mimic, and it was terrible. On top of that, the start of the Easter egg is literally you just going back and forth between Peck and Ravenov, and it has no purpose but just to have pointless dialogue that means absolutely nothing. It would have just been better if they did it over a radio or something, instead of you actually having to go back and forth the entire time. The final thing about this Easter egg is the boss fight. You can drop Orda in about 5 seconds if you have the right setup. And it is really not a challenge at all. Just throw a distractable and then just lay into him with a Ray K, and that's the boss fight complete. Congrats, you did it. At number 20, we have Voyage of Despair. Personally, my least favorite Treyarch map, but we're going to move on from that for now. This Easter egg also sucks. The clock dial step is absolutely terrible, and then you have to shoot planets and stuff. It doesn't make any sense. I really don't like this Easter egg at all. I think the Kraken upgrades are terrible. It does have a pretty good boss fight once you get past all the bullshit of this Easter egg and map, but unfortunately that cannot save this map and this Easter egg from being at this low spot. Coming in at number 19 is going to actually be Ascension, the OG Easter egg. So, the reason it's this low is not because it's necessarily a bad Easter egg. I actually kind of enjoy it because it's just quick, easy, simple, fun to do with friends, which you have to because it's 4-player. But because there's just not much to it. It's just holding square on a button, just moving a launch pad around, and then getting a bunch of really OP weapons and just spamming the living shit out of a glowing orb in the ground. It is, like I said, something fun to do with friends. But besides that, there's just not much to it, so I gotta give it the number 19 spot. Coming in at number 18 is going to be Tigerton. Now, the finale of the Ether storyline ended in a bit of an upset. Now, I do actually kind of like the map. It's not one of my favorites, but I do think the map is pretty okay. However, the grand finale to the Ether storyline was a bit underwhelming. There's no actual boss fight, it's an escort thing, which can be a bit of a pain in the ass if you don't know what you're doing. And the Apothicon language is a bit of a pain in the ass, where you actually have to sit there and look up locations of what it means, because I don't remember any of them. I don't think most people do. If you do, good job, I guess. I don't really care. The dialogue cuts when you have to do the music box are nice, but after a while, they really get repetitive past your first playthrough. The redeeming step, however, is the dial step, being very easy. You don't actually have to go look around the entire map. You just turn them until they ding. So it's kind of like a little cheat there. Besides that, it's an okay Easter egg, and I think it sits right at the number 18 spot. Coming in at number 17 is going to actually be Zetsubou no Shima. Now, I'm not the biggest Zetsubou fanboy. I do like the map, however, but this Easter egg to me is a bit lackluster. Most of this egg is just collecting the cogs with a pretty underwhelming boss fight, in my opinion, where you're just thrown in a small room, bunch of thrashers, bunch of spiders, and you're basically just surviving, waiting to shoot with the upgraded KT4, the Masamune, and that's about it. So, it's not much to this Easter egg. The flat gun step can be a bit annoying, getting the plant, and if you don't get it, you gotta go 3 more rounds, and if you miss, well, you fucked. So, yeah. At number 16 is going to be Revelations. Now, solo, this Easter egg sucks. Co-op with friends is fun, but solo, this Easter egg can be a bit of a pain in the ass. The Apothicon Servant upgrade is a bit annoying, but more than that is these stupid ass bone locations. One of them being tucked away in a little corner that's like impossible to see, and the other one, you have to be wall running, shoot it, and then suck it up with the Apothicon Servant. And it is a pain in the ass, and if you miss or mess up, you have to wait until the anti-grav goes back on so you can try again. Another thing is collecting the eggs. Can be a bit annoying if you don't really know where they are. Sometimes they're easy to find, sometimes they're not. It's just a lot of running around the map, which can be a hassle. And then one big thing with this Easter egg is RNG as well, trying to get all the stuff you need out of the box, like the RNAs and the Servant. The final boss is a bit disappointing, however. All you do is charge up the summoning key, throw it, and then just shoot the Shadow Man and click square on a book. that's it. I actually prefer the kind of mid-stage boss fight with the 4 zones or elements or whatever, where you have to survive the different waves and kill the Margwas. I actually really enjoy that, but everything else in this Easter egg, kind of a bit meh. Coming in at number 15 is going to be Call of the Dead. Now, I really enjoy this Easter egg. I don't know why, I just do. But compared to everything else in this list, I think it's appropriate to go here. Back in the day, I remember listening to the characters' dialogue being like the greatest thing ever. It was amazing. This Easter egg is quick, easy, not much to it. And it's actually one of the only Easter eggs, I believe, maybe the only actually, to give you a permanent reward after doing the Easter eggs. So, originally when you kill George Romero, he drops a death machine. But, after you do the Easter egg, every single time you kill him from then on forth, he drops a Wonder Waff. Which is amazing. I mean, I don't know why that's not a good deal. There's also a lot of complaints about this Easter egg, about you just being like an errand boy for Richtofen and them, like... That's just what Victus is, so not much difference there. I really enjoy this Easter egg, so I wish I could put it higher, but I'm going to have to put it at the number 15 spot. Coming in at number 14 is going to be Die Maschine. Now, I actually think it was good to start Cold War off with a simple Easter egg like this, especially with a lot of newer players coming in due to the mechanics changing. So I actually think it was pretty good to start off simple. The Easter egg is very straightforward, not much to it. It gives you a free guide to a wonder weapon, so you can acquire that quickly, so you don't have to worry about spinning the box for it, do anything complicated. Just get a couple kills, and then you get it. The upgrades for the DIE are pretty simple. My only problem with this Easter egg, really, is the boss fight. You're kind of just protecting Orlov the entire time, and that's pretty much it. I do enjoy the exfil. I think the exfil was cool, especially first time seeing it, where you have to quickly get out of there and navigate through the lightning. But yeah, it's actually a very quick, fun, easy Easter egg that me and a couple friends actually almost did melee only once. That would have been impressive. But yeah, comes in at number 14. Coming in at number 13 is going to be Dead of the Night. Now, I am not the biggest Dead of the Night fanatic. I'm sorry, Hybes, it's true. But this Easter egg is very good, however. My only two problems with it is the tally step is a bit annoying, and the step with the rings where you have to align the rings in the middle can be a bit annoying if you don't know what you're doing. But the main thing of this Easter egg is the boss fight. It's a very unique boss fight compared to other ones, and really stands out in the list of boss fights, I guess. But besides that, I think 13 is good for Dead of the Night. Coming in at number 12 is going to be Moon. Now, Moon, I would say, would probably be one of the most iconic Easter eggs in all of Zombies. I don't think, besides maybe like Origins or something, there is a more like standout Easter egg. But the main problem with this Easter egg is the RNG. You need the QED, the Gersh, the wave gun. You need to wait for Excavator Pi or 6 to go down. And it is a nightmare for speedrunners. Like, you can either have a 10-minute speedrun or a 2-hour speedrun. So that's the only problem with this map. It is a challenge, which I do enjoy, and it's very enjoyable. Probably one of the best Easter egg endings of all time, when you blow up the earth and you get all the perma perks. But besides that, I just wish there was a way that you could, for instance, get a free wonder weapon, like get the wave gun free, or there was a little thing that you could do to get the QED or Gersh. I think that would majorly improve this Easter egg, but to me it is still a very, very good Easter egg. Coming in at number 11, and I'm even surprised I'm putting it this high up, is Forsaken. Now, the big shock for me is originally I played this map once, second game I did the Easter egg, and then I uninstalled Cold War because I was just done with it at the time. But going back to it is actually a pretty fun Easter egg. The Crystal Axe is a fun weapon. While the map itself isn't that good, I feel like the Easter egg does carry the map. Just quick, fun, easy. It actually has a decent boss fight in my opinion. It's very straightforward, but the Forsaken actually keeps you moving with his attacks. So you can't just stand around. But yeah, it's a very fun Easter egg. The escort step is pretty challenging. Keeps you moving where you have to go outside and grab the crystals. So yeah, I think it's pretty good to be at number 11. Now, I might trigger some people with the number 10 pick, but it's actually going to be Mob of the Dead. And the reason I put it this low, or I mean it's not really low, but probably lower than some people would think, is because most of this Easter egg is just going back and forth between the plane. You get the plane, build the plane, go to the bridge. Do it all over again, all over again, all over again. You have the radios, which are cool, but it's a lot of waiting around. The ending, however, is probably the best part of the Easter egg, where you actually fight against another player. You fight against a weasel, and it is really, really fun. This Easter egg is fun to do. I don't want to say it's a bad Easter egg. It is really fun, especially with friends. There's a lot of really good qualities with it. But then again, I think number 10 is fitting. Coming in at number 9 is going to be Mauer Toten. And just like Forsaken, I'm actually surprised I'm putting it this high up, because I didn't do it the Easter egg that much. But it is very fun and easy to do. The Cerberus is a good wonder weapon that you can get for free pretty easily. And you just do a couple things. The ore step is pretty good, where you have to quickly put them together and smash them above the rooftops. And it keeps you timed, so that way you're always on your feet, which I like about Easter eggs, where you don't have to have a lot of downtime, just doing a bunch of other things. Keeps you moving. And the Valentina boss fight is actually very good, because it keeps you engaged. Once again, it's not a lot of waiting around. Constantly moving around with a bunch of enemies around you. While she's trying to attack you, you gotta break her shields and do as much damage as you can in the amounts of time that you have. And then you will go downstairs to finish it off, and you have to protect Klaus as he walks into the Dark Ether with the bomb. I think it's a very good Easter egg, and it comes in at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is going to be Ancient Evil. Now, this Easter egg is really fun to use the gauntlets. The Pegasus boss fight is really cool, how you're jumping between the different islands. The one thing that a bit of annoys me in this Easter egg is probably the cog step, where you have to time your spear throws at the cog, especially when they're a bit farther away. It can be a bit tedious. Besides that, the mark steps are easy, the symbol steps are pretty easy, and it's just a really fun Easter egg that keeps you engaged, keeps you moving with a good boss fight, and I think it comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is going to be ShangriLa. Now, while this is a 4-player Easter egg, it is still really fun and actually gets you working with your team or your group of players, where you have to match the symbols on each side and coordinate who's doing what. When it comes to water slide, 3 have to go down. And the one problem I would have with this Easter egg is the gas step, where you have to turn the valves and then walk the napalm through. It can be a bit of a pain in the ass, but if you're working good with your team, you should be able to do it. And yeah, the story on this map is great with Brock and Gary as well, and it's just a really fun Easter egg, and once again, great to do with a good squad. At number 6, we have Buried, the only Victus Easter egg I'd actually want to go back and play, because the other two, yeah. Anyways, Buried's Easter egg is really fun. It's a 4-player Easter egg. Has a really good escort step. It really ties in a lot of the Black Ops 2 story and actually makes it good. And then ends with one of the most iconic zombie steps of all time, the sharpshooter. Whether you're good at it or you absolutely suck, it's still a fun challenge to overcome. And I think that the 2-sided Easter egg in this really works rather than the other maps. And yeah, it's a really, really fun Easter egg. Moving into the top 5, we have Shadows of Evil. Now, I absolutely love this Easter egg because it's pretty straightforward and it's not a lot of sidetracking. You're pretty much just getting Pack-a-Punch open, getting your sword, upgrading the sword, which is just killing Margos and stuff. And then you have the flag protection step, which is really fun and keeps you really engaged, looking around, almost kind of like the sharpshooter in my opinion, how you're constantly looking around to make sure where the Shadow Man is and trying to protect it from the meatballs. And then you go and fight the Shadow Man, which is a little underwhelming in my opinion, but it's still very good. And then you move on to the co-op part where you have to electrify the train stations. And yeah, it's just a really straightforward Easter egg that's a lot of fun. I personally just love Shadows of Evil in general. So yeah, coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is going to be Gorod Krovi. Now, this Easter egg is really, really fun in my opinion, because there's not much like puzzles or anything except for the one little valve step, which It's not that hard when you know what you're doing. You're just twisting a couple of dials. But once you get past collecting the trophies and your setup, doing the challenges is really fun. Because you're just back to back. You don't know what order they're going to be in. Complete one, ready for the next one. And yeah, you just keep moving along with them. And then you get to the boss fight, which in my opinion is probably the best boss fight in all of Zombies. With the dragon and the Nikolai. It provides a real challenge, and I just think it's an amazing Easter egg. Coming in at number 3, I don't care what anyone says. I love this Easter egg. I love this map. It is 9. So, 9's Easter egg is just amazing. I don't know what much to say. You're going around to each of the 4 god statues, and you're doing a little trial or challenge to kind of appease the gods, I guess. And all the challenges are just really fun, in my opinion, really simple. They're all different and unique, especially the one where you get a unlimited special weapon, and you just, in the middle of the arena in front of the crowd, trying to fight off all the elite zombies, I guess, the gladiators. And then, I guess, one of another best Easter eggs in Call of Duty Zombies, the elephant fight, not once, but twice. And it is just so fun because it's just a giant open arena. And yeah, I love this Easter egg. I love this map. I don't care what anyone says. It's coming in at number 3. Now, the big 2. And this is where it's going to get a little iffy and controversial maybe. So, I'm actually going to say the number 1 map first, which is going to be Der Eisentaka. Which means number 2 is Origins, if you didn't put that together. Now, let me just put these a bit side by side, because it was a really tough decision for me. Origins is one of the most iconic Easter eggs of all time. It is almost can be considered sometimes the Easter egg in Call of Duty Zombies. I don't think there's an Easter egg like Origins where you can constantly get better and better and better at it along with the map. There's always little things you can perfect. But at the same time, there is a little bit of RNG to it, whether you're playing the Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 3 version, because you have to worry about the robots coming in to get your parts, whether it's snowing or not. And most of the Easter egg is just really building the staffs, which once you get past that, it's really fun, really breeze. It's super fun, it's unique. However, compared to Horizon, I just think that Horizon's better. I think getting the bows are much easier and much more fun to do. It has a boss fight, that's another thing, which is really good. One of the probably the first real boss fight besides the Shadow Man one. And I just feel like the egg is much more replayable in my opinion. A lot of people will go and complain about the wisp stat, but it's really not that hard. Once you know where you're going, you kind of just like run in a circle and find them. It's really not that challenging. And I just feel like it's a really engaging Easter egg. I think Horizon is one of the most near perfect Easter eggs that we've ever had, in my opinion. And yeah, it's just, compared to Origin, I think it's just that next step up where it's not as much reliant on building the wonder weapons. I think that it's way more tied together. So yeah, it was a tough one for me to decide, but I think I'm gonna go with Horizon as number 1. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm planning on doing a new series, hopefully, called Map Comparisons, unless I think of a better name, where I compare the different aspects of 2 maps head-to-head, such as Origins and Horizon, in greater detail. So comment down below what maps you would like to see. Just make sure the pair makes sense and it's not something like Kino versus Origins. I won't be making a video on that. So once again, thank you for watching. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and everything else a YouTuber would say at the end of the video. This has been the Random KC. Take care and peace.